Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Gray Man, and this is a new action thriller from Netflix, directed by the Russo brothers, and written by Joe Russo and Marcus and McFeely, all coming back together from their time working on Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And the Russo brothers are still trying to capture that spark that they got with Marvel and Community, but their films since have not been the strongest, or just generally their films outside of the MCU haven't been the strongest. And this is a big $200 million fun ride. I have to say though, like writing-wise, some of the dialogue is very clunky. The story is just filled with a lot of cliches and tropes, and the MacGuffin of this story really isn't that interesting. It's convoluted, and there's parts of this 2-hour film that just drag a bit. And you're trying to bounce a lot of different moving pieces in this show, but what it really focuses on is a CIA operative who is identified as Sierra 6. His name is just 6, played by Ryan Gosling. And after a mission opens up a can of worms for the organization that he's working for, he goes on the run, but then is chased by Lloyd Hansen, played by Chris Evans, with hair similar to mine and a disgusting mustache. And he is just eating up the opportunity to be a villain here. And Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans go a long way in making this an enjoyable and watchable experience. Ryan Gosling is stoic quite a bit in similar ways to like Blade Runner and Drive, but he does have those fun little quips that he so confidently just tosses out there. And then you have Chris Evans, who's much more like in your face about it, wearing these weird, interesting outfits. Just his whole entire character just screams like, I'm a weird villain here. And he's just a big man-child, and the way that he acts and bursts with anger and all those different kinds of things all come together to make him a really entertaining and really hateable villain of this story. And then you have like other characters, Billy Bob Thornton, who is kind of like the mentor to Ryan Gosling, who winds up getting roped into this along with his niece, who he's in charge of keeping after. You have Rajon Page as like their new boss that runs this organization. He just acts like a big baby and screams all the time, and like I don't feel like he added a whole lot to it. Ana de Armas kills it again, as always, in these action roles, and hopefully she'll get her own action movie at some point where she doesn't have to sit back. And you also have Jessica Henwick, who's really good too in her role in this film. I just feel like there's just too many things going on. This movie is not as interesting as I think it thinks it is. But from a directing standpoint, I do think the Russos have a lot of bold, interesting ideas in terms of how to shoot action. Some of the camera work, like these crazy crane shots or drone shots, were pretty impressive, but there's also moments where some of the action was incomprehensible and I just couldn't tell what was going on. But other times it's very clear, it's intense, and so well directed and choreographed and shot, which that mixed bag is kind of frustrating, but in the end, I had a lot of fun with this. I don't know how much I got emotionally invested in it, but it was something where it's just like, I enjoyed this lead character enough and his antagonist, and if they can make an antagonist just as entertaining in a second film, I would definitely be interested in checking out The Gray Man too. But it is something that, you know, it's not the strongest writing. Mostly the direction's very strong, and this lives and dies off of some really great performances from a really talented and A-list cast. And in the end, I think The Gray Man's worth a watch. I don't know if I go out of my way to try to find it in a theater kind of thing, but you know, it's on Netflix, it's a easy stream, and it's boom, right there, 2 hours, and hopefully you have some fun along the way. But those are my thoughts on The Gray Man. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.